Okay, here's this stack. You sent us this material, and, well, we are definitely ready for a deep dive.
Absolutely. And today, we're digging into something really vital for anyone building a business. Thinking about the long game anyway.
Which
How to
is,
actually prepare that business for a successful exit. Selling it, basically.
right. And we've got this pretty detailed guide here. It's called Building Your Business for a Successful Exit, a step-by-step guide.
Yeah, it's from Mitchell's Chartered Accountants. They seem to be specialists in advising businesses on, well, exactly this.
Okay, so our mission today, let's unpack this guide. We'll go through their steps, pull out the key actions, the main insights.
So you can get a real handle on what it takes to plan and, actually pull off a smooth, profitable exit from your business.
Perfect. Let's jump right in then. The guide sets out 8 steps. In step 1, the very first thing they say, define your exit goals and timeline. Why start there? Seems obvious, maybe.
Well, the source really hammers this home. It's because everything else you do kind of flows from this. You have to know what successful actually means for you personally.
Okay, so is it all about the money? Maximizing the payout?
That could be it. Or maybe preserving the company's legacy is more important, its culture. Maybe keeping jobs local matters most,
Yeah,
or some kind of balance.
right, right. And it's not just the what, but the when, too.
Exactly. The timeline is huge. Are you thinking like a year from now, 5 years, 10 makes a big difference to the prep?
And who you might sell to.
Definitely. Who's your ideal buyer? A competitor looking for synergy, a strategic buyer, or maybe a private equity firm, a financial buyer.
Or keeping it closer to home.
Could be. Your management team doing a buyout, your employees through a trust, even family. Knowing who you're aiming for shapes how you build the business from here on out.
So without that clarity, you're just kind of prepping in the dark.
Pretty much, yeah. You need that destination first. Okay, so once you've got that target defined, the guide moves straight to step 2, optimize financial performance.
Ah, the numbers. Always comes back to the numbers, doesn't it?
It really does. The guide stresses that for any buyer, the financials are, well, they're paramount. They tell the main story.
So what's the first action point there?
Get your financial house in order, squeaky clean, accurate records, up to date, easy for someone else to audit. That builds confidence.
Messy books are a red flag then.
A massive red flag.
Yeah.
Instantly raises suspicion. So clean books are like the entry fee. Then it's about boosting the actual performance.
Making the business look as good as possible financially.
Exactly. Maximize profitability. That means, yeah, growing revenue, but also being really smart about cutting unnecessary costs, improving your margins, both gross and net.
Makes sense. What else on the financial front?
Diversification is interesting. The guide really highlights diversifying your revenue streams. Don't rely too heavily on 1 or 2 big customers,
Yeah.
or just one core product.
Right. Why is that so important for a buyer?
Reduces risk. If one big client leaves or one product line falters, the whole business doesn't collapse.
Yeah.
It shows stability, makes it more valuable.
So they're not buying something fragile.
Precisely. It shows resilience. And critically, you need to show consistent growth. Buyers want to see a positive trend, a proven track record leading up to the sale. They're buying the future, but based on past performance.
Okay, got it. Financials, solid, clean, growing, diversified. Then the step 3 is about building a strong and sustainable business. This sounds like making it less about you, the owner.
That's a huge part of it, yeah. The source is very clear. A business that totally depends on the owner's daily input. That's really hard to sell for top dollar. Maybe impossible.
So buyers want something that runs itself more or
You
less.
want a system, something that functions effectively even if you're not there. A key piece of that is having a strong management team in place. That demonstrates depth, leadership, continuity.
Right. And the guide mentioned documenting processes, getting rid of tribal knowledge. I like that phrase.
It's a great phrase, isn't it? All that stuff that only, Bob in accounts knows how to do because it's stuck in his head.
Uh-huh.
The source says you have to write down key processes, procedures, workflows. Makes the business less vulnerable if someone leaves, and it gives a new owner a clear roadmap. Shows it's a transferable operation.
Not just a collection of individuals who happen to work together.
Exactly. Plus, things like a strong brand, a loyal customer base, those are real assets too. They represent future income that isn't tied just to you.
And keeping things modern. Technology.
Yeah, the guide mentions investing in up-to-date technology and infrastructure. Efficiency makes the business more attractive, easier to manage or integrate later on.
Okay, so you've built this solid, documented, financially healthy machine that doesn't solely rely on you. What's next? Step 4. Conduct a business valuation. Time to figure out what it's worth.
You absolutely have to. It's
Yeah.
non-negotiable, according to the guide. And they're really firm on this. Get a professional, independent valuator. Don't just guess or use a rule of thumb.
Why independent?
Objectivity. You need a realistic assessment, not just what you hope it's worth. And the process itself helps you understand the key value drivers.
The things that make your business valuable specifically.
Right, maybe it's your recurring revenue model or some proprietary tech you have, maybe strong customer contracts, your market niche, those unique factors.
And the valuation might also uncover some moments, things that could drag the price down.
Exactly. The guide strongly advises using the valuation process to spot any potential red flags before you go to market. An old lease, a looming legal issue, maybe too much reliance on one supplier.
And fix them.
Find them and fix them now. It's crucial. Don't let a buyer discover them during their own checks.
Speaking of which, step 5, prepare for due diligence. This is the buyer's turn to poke around under the hood, right?
That's the perfect analogy. Due diligence is their deep, deep dive. They'll look at everything. Financials, legal stuff, customer lists, operations, contracts, HR, tech, the works.
Sounds intense. How do you prepare?
The source says. Organization is key. Gather all the relevant documents. Financial statements, legal papers, key contracts, employee agreements, everything. Get it organized, usually in a secure online data room.
Makes it easy for them to review.
Exactly. And anticipate their questions. Think about what a buyer would ask. Have clear, honest answers ready. It shows you're professional, transparent.
And keeping things quiet.
Oh, absolutely critical.
Mm.
Confidentiality is paramount throughout this stage. The guide stresses that. You don't want word getting out prematurely.
Okay. House in order, valuation done, ready for inspection. Step 6, choose the right exit strategy. We touched on the selling isn't just one thing.
That's right. The guide lays out the common paths. Selling to a strategic buyer, often a competitor or similar company. They might pay more if they see synergy benefits.
Roar.
Selling to a financial buyer, think private equity. They're usually focused on growing the business and getting a return over, say, 3-7 years.
What about keeping it internal?
That's an MBO management buyout, selling to your existing managers. Or an EOT employee ownership trust. That's selling a controlling stake to a trust for the employee's benefit, often chosen for legacy reasons, keeping the culture.
And the classic family handover?
Yep, succession planning to family or maybe key long-term employees. Though the guide implies that needs careful planning around fairness, funding, dynamics.
So the right strategy depends entirely on those goals from step 1.
Exactly. There's no single best way. It's about alignment with your priorities, money, legacy, speed, certainty, employee welfare, whatever they are.
This sounds incredibly complex, lots of moving parts, which leads neatly to step 7, assemble your advisory team. Definitely not a DIY project.
Oh, the source couldn't be clearer on this. Trying to sell your business alone is just asking for trouble. You need experts.
Like who?
Well, chartered accountants like the guide's authors. They're crucial for the financial side, valuation input, tax planning, deal structuring, helping navigate the financial due diligence from the buyer.
Lawyers, obviously.
Absolutely vital. Corporate lawyers handle the complex sale agreements, manage legal risks, make sure all the I's are dotted and crossed legally.
And someone to help find the buyer.
Yes. Business brokers or M&A advisors. They specialize in confidentially marketing the business, finding and vetting potential buyers, and often leading the initial negotiations. This whole team brings specialized knowledge you just won't have on your own.
Right. Okay, final lap. Step 8, negotiate and close the deal. The finish line.
It is.
Yeah.
This is where you hammer out the final terms. The price, sure, but also how you get paid cash up front. Earnouts. What's the transition period look like? Your ongoing role, if any.
So it's about getting the best terms, not just the highest number.
Exactly. Favorable terms based on your goals while also minimizing your post-sale risks. And interestingly, the guide points out you should do some due diligence on the buyer too.
Check them out.
Yeah, make sure they actually have the funds, that they're serious, that they're likely to be a good steward if legacy matters to you. Yeah. You need to be confident they can actually close the deal.
Makes sense. And then finally,
Then finalizing all the legal paperwork, transferring ownership, making sure all conditions are met, and closing the deal smoothly. The guide sort of wraps up by saying, look, a successful exit isn't magic. It's the result of methodically working through these steps, preparation that probably started years ago.
so if we boil down this whole Mitchell's guide, the recipe for a successful exit seems to be super intentional from day one about your goals. Get your financial and operational shop in perfect order. Know your real value. prepare for intense scrutiny, pick the exit route that fits your definition of success, get top-notch advisors,
Right.
and then negotiate smartly, keeping your eyes open right to the end.
That sums it up really well. The absolute core idea is that if you build the business thinking about the exit all along, you massively boost your chances of getting the outcome you want whenever that time comes.
And getting professional help is just woven through the whole thing.
Non-negotiable, according to this source.
You know, it really makes you stop and think. Looking at all this preparation, the years of work building a team, writing down processes, keeping perfect financials, knowing your market, anticipating problems, maybe the most important step isn't actually in the 8 steps they list.
What do you mean?
Well, maybe the most crucial thing is just the commitment made really early on to build a business that could be sold at any time, even if you don't plan to sell tomorrow.
Ah, I see. Build it to be sale-ready, as a matter of course.
Exactly. A business that's fundamentally strong, efficient, well-run, not totally dependent on the founder. Because this guide makes it pretty clear. That kind of business is the one that's actually ready for a great exit whenever you finally decide to pull the trigger. It sort of reframes how you think about building value from the start, doesn't it?